So what have you come across in your studies, Shivangi?
Yeah. So, firstly, I'll talk about how does one get into it, right? The incel culture, because you have to come down. Manosphere is the larger issue, right? Yes, but incel is involuntary celibate, right? They're saying we will not have sex because sex is not given to us. And then I'll move into what is so specific about incels in India. Now, firstly, when you talk about how does one get into it, research is saying that 20 every 23 minute a boy is going online, he's being exposed to misogynist content. So the young boy is not going out and seeking misogyny, right? It's not wanting to go out and read about I hate women and women are sluts. But once they go on the internet, they are starting innocently with issues such as fitness, money, dating. All right. So these are the generic things that they're Googling, they're wanting to know more about. And once they go into these spaces, the algorithm is pushing anti women misogynist content to their spaces or whatever they've chosen, their social media space. And that leads to an echo chamber. And this has increased post COVID or during COVID because all of us were isolated, we wanted connection, and those spaces increased, right? Because more people came on the internet. Now, what is happening is 40% of these men, young men who are then going online, and in the research, there was an example of Twitch, for example, the gaming platform, they are facing a lot of bullying, right? And they're facing a lot of shaming on these spaces where they are streaming and like when they write all these stuff. So, what, and in those spaces, the research said that when the streamer was calling out and saying, stop it, it would stop. But if the streamer is engaging and increasing it, it is spreading. So the bullying is spreading, so they're being bullied online. And there becomes, in these echo chamber, a in-group out-group behavior, like I explained back then. Like the in-group behavior is if you agree to this echo chamber idea that women are bad, women don't want to give sex, and they only want to be with only a certain percentage of men are good looking and handsome, and they only want to go to them, and others they don't want to choose. Anyone who wants to say a counterpoint to these spaces is removed from this group behavior and called out. So there's also impunity of this kind of misogyny that is being discussed, and there's a full peer dynamic. So they're part of a group. Now, why is a young man going online and wanting all of this? The major, as per research in India or otherwise, is loneliness, right? There's a high isolation in our society, right? Most of us are online. We're finding our friendships online. Those spaces are decreasing. Of meeting outside, there's a high insecurity, right? So there's a lot of insecurity about themselves, right? So like what Kushan said, like Kushan, sorry, said that they're not able to find jobs. It's not necessarily only the people who are unemployed are incels. There are also people who are employed who are saying, I went by the whole rule book of patriarchy. I got the job, I got the house, and still this woman is not giving me sex, or I'm getting rejected in the dating market or in the arranged setting market. So there's a constant rejection sensitivity that we are seeing. In that constant rejection sensitivity, when we see deeper, there is fear of abandonment. All of them are feeling I will be abandoned in this society, right? And alongside that, there is a search for belonging. So these groups are spaces where they're getting these sense of belonging, but they're
Yeah.
also feeling abandoned and feeling like highly insecure because they don't know how to be a man and how to be a man to lead to find a woman, right? So there's a complete crisis of masculinity. So when you go further into India, there's a large changing gender roles that we're seeing. So from a very traditional gender role society where man is providing, he's the one earning, woman is at home, there's a sexual division of labor, they're cooking, they're cleaning, they're having kids, and this is how society was, let's say during our parents' time. Now both are working, right? Women are in labor force. There is a complete discussion on household division of labor, right? Who's going to do the household chores, especially after COVID, when you couldn't have domestic workers coming in, and there was this huge discussion on who will do what. And then women are marrying late, they're understanding their rights, and men are complete in a segregated and secluded society like ours in India, where you cannot even talk about sex that openly. Men are being isolated further, and in the traditional gender roles being shifted, there is a complete loss of identity they're facing with the patriarchal expectation, right, of a society saying that aapko producer banna hai of everything. There are no public spaces, you have job precarity, like he said. There are can you own a house like your elders could, right? So the achievement of traditional masculine milestones जो थे manhood के, वो नहीं मिल पा रहे हैं सबको, right? And उसकी वजह से there's an acute anxiety when these people are going online. Now what happens is, ये जब इन spaces में, I can go on, right, Kushal?
Carry on.
Yeah, okay, fine. So in individual experiences जो होते हैं rejection के, so these are anecdotal evidence. मेरे को किसी ने reject किया, I went to someone's room as a man and the girl said, I don't want to have sex with you. There's an anger, and he comes back and he discusses it, let's say Reddit, because that's one of the research spaces I picked on, men's right groups on subreddit. Then that individual.
एक बात बोलो, तूने मतलब इस दुनिया की सबसे वाहियात जगह, मतलब वो इंस्टाग्राम से भी टट्टी जगह है रेडिट, और तूने वही चुनी.
Great taste for data collection.
मतलब मैं इंस्टाग्राम से डर गया, तू रेडिट पे गई.
हाँ, मैं पूरा रेडिट पे गई एंड पूरा उनका 2013 से लेके 2025 तक पूरा डेटा एनालाइज किया था फॉर द सब रेडिट मेंस राइट एक्टर. ऑल्दो दे सेड वन इज नॉट अलाउड टू डू दैट. आई एम सो सॉरी टू द सब रेडिट.
True, man. Reddit is a very, very weird place, man. It's a really weird place.
But it is a space that men are turning to, right, to talk about their feelings, because it's anonymous, correct? I can make an anonymous account and I talk about my feelings. So like I was saying, the individual experiences jo ho rahe hain of rejection, it's becoming into a collective grievance-based identity, right? So there's a psychology of entitlement and rejection. So what is happening is that they think everything is transactional. मैंने टोकन दिया ऑफ मनी, पोलाइटनेस, ऑफ एफर्ट महिला को, शी हैज टू गिव इट आउटपुट इनटू गिव मी सेक्स, right? So they're putting in tokens.
The biryani comment came up, right? That explains the biryani comment.
Correct. And so when the sexual output is no, that is a rejection that is happening. So they are not looking at it as a interpersonal incompatibility issue, right? Like you meet a girl and the woman said, oh no, I'm not interested in having sex, or they go to oral sex, they don't go into penetrative sex, they get angry, why did she say no? So they are looking at that as a systemic theft of what what they've earned, like in the sense like, you owed me this was a transaction, right? And you say no, and therefore it is not about a generic incompatibility issue. They take it personally and look at it as a narcissistic injury, right? So the injury to self hota hai ki main reject ho raha hu, mujhe shame feel ho raha hai in a society, and that converts into collective rage when they go on to these spaces. Because rejection kya karta hai for any of us, it hits our core self-esteem, right? So if I have feelings of low self-worth, if I feel I'm not good enough, right, any kind of no will make me feel anger. And when they get isolated and they go into these spaces, they feel a lot of shame, right? And that shame gets converted into anger. And then collectively, all of them blame women for their problem, right? So personal rejection they are, what I would say as a practicing social worker would be that it's trauma bonding, right? So you're looking at trauma bonding through shared grievances. So jaise hi aap kisi ka share kar rahe hain, there's an instant validation of feeling, like your feeling of inadequacy ends. If I come here and share something and someone says, oh, the problem is not you, the problem is woman, then wo unko validation mil raha hai. And jo personal story hai, wo ban rahi hai ek universal truth, like jo red pill hai. Aapka universal generic truth ho gaya from an anecdotal evidence into generalizing on women, saying that mahila hi aisi hai. यहीं पे ही रेडिकलाइजेशन सबसे ज्यादा दिख रहा है. वो इन ग्रुप आउट ग्रुप बिहेवियर हो रहा है. एम्पैथी बहुत कंडीशनल है इन दीज स्पेसेस, एंड देयर इज अ शेयर्ड विक्टिमहुड दैट यू हैव टू कंटिन्यूअसली गो ऑन.
I think I would agree with that to an extent. I also think there's also been, and I noticed this with some younger guys I know, I guess it's also because the way jobs are structured right now, and I'm personally very fortunate in the space I work in, in the automotive journalism space, because we have male friendships, physical male friendships, in the sense we meet each other every couple of weeks. We drink
Correct.
together. A lot of this going online, going to Reddit, finding their community of self is because I guess in this disaggregated world, you're not in touch. Maybe you're
Correct.
also socially awkward in school. You don't have too many friends in school.
Exactly.
You're not there, right? I mean, I'm as I said, I'm very fortunate. I have friends I can talk to. I have male friends I can talk to if I have problems. I also think, and I've had this conversation with my wife. I went to a boys' school. The school group is still very, very active.
Was it
Whatever.
voting?
Yeah, we still meet each other once a year at least, and I think it's important. I mean, it's my two closest friends in my life we were friends from class 3 onwards. We were the 3 new kids in class 3. We meet each other once in a while. I think the decline of physical male bonding is a huge thing, right? I mean, I find it very important. I think it's I know my wife thinks at times that boys' nights are these huge debauch parties where all sorts of shit goes down, but they're not. I mean, yeah, we might have a few too many to drink, or maybe at least when we were younger, indulge in other substances. But they are that. They're just times for you to catch up. Okay, sometimes it happens too often, but I don't see that happening that much with the next generation. That's why they're looking at, you're rightly saying, I mean, 100 years ago, male bonding happened on the battlefield.
Correct.
Almost every young man was